All right, guys. Um, this is my week 3 assignment, climate change and humans. It's about climate change and its relation to human beings and essentially what it causes and what it means for us. Now, I have a set of 3 questions I'm supposed to answer. I want to take a chance to first off apologize for um, poor quality and lighting and whatnot. And if my children end up in this video, I apologize for that as well. I got a newborn and a 2-year-old running around here somewhere, so I've got to make do with the time I have. Christmas tree in the background. Everything seems good. All right. I wanted to do this as a live presentation, more of a face-to-face format because it seems a little more formal and a little bit more relatable to the audience. I also wanted to make sure I kept the terminology I used as a more relatable terminology, so that everyone knew more what I was talking about and things like that. So I'll try to keep it a little bit more mainstream for everyone as well. All right. First of all, and our question was, let's see, how will climate change affect people? Um, I got 3 reasons here that I've got on the list. Obviously, these aren't the only 3 reasons, nor are they technically out of the subject of other reasons. Yeah, it's a really big, vast category as to human effect in climate change. Now, is it an economic? Is it social? Is it just physical? What is it? So, I have 3 answers that I felt were direct human um, problems with climate change, and they were as follows. I chose heat stroke for one because there are a lot of people out there that are not as susceptible to the heat as others. I for one, am one of those people where if the temperature goes up just a little too high, I get extremely hot. I get flush. I get dizzy, lightheaded. I don't perform. You know. Um, my second reason is heat-related cardiovascular disease. Now, there's a lot of people out there that suffer from, heart-related illness already, but there's also a lot of diseases out there that are increased or made worse or even created by the rise of temperatures. So that can be a direct cause for humans as well. Um, and then there's cold related deaths is my number 3 choice that I chose. Let me see. I'm not sure if I've got you guys all at the right angle. I hope I do. Again, sorry for the poor quality. I don't think the lighting in here is as great as I would like it to be. Cold related deaths. They sorry guys, just getting over this cold. Let's see. There have been more than 19,000 cold related deaths since 19. Let's see, on my notes it says since 1979 we've had over 19,000 cold related deaths, and this is all the information I'm sharing here today can be found within our class notes and this book here, Andrew Dessler, Modern Climate Change. Um, just in case we're wondering where you can find some of the information that I'm telling you. Uh, let's see. Now, those were my 3 reasons for my first question. Now I have 2 more questions I have to answer, so don't leave your seats yet, guys. Stay tuned, and we're still going. Let's see. How will climate change affect national economies? Okay, so national meaning on the home front or as a one nation basis. Because my third question is how will climate change affect global economies? Now, those are 2 separate things to think about, and I guess I'll kind of decipher them as I answer the 2 questions. So the first question being, how will climate change affect national economies? Um, First off, it would have to be, in my opinion, the residential energy use. If the heat goes up just a little bit or down just a little bit, people are running air conditioners, they're running heaters. I mean, I know in the beginning of winter in my house, I'm running the heat and the dang air conditioner. So you have to think about that. People are in this constant state of where am I comfortable? So they're going to continuously fluctuate to try to make it at that state. And if the temperature is constantly, changing, they're always going to be constantly paying more for that energy bill, or, just trying to keep up with the climate at hand. Um, Number 2 for that one would be, the length of the growing season. If, climate changes, the length of the growing season will actually increase, because then we're having, our springs are starting earlier and our winters are starting later, so we're having more sun, we're having more warm periods to grow, and which in turn takes a lot longer for our crops to yield, and it takes a lot longer for them to mature. Um, let's see. Number 3 I chose for that would have to be the pollen season. It almost relates to the growing season as well. The longer the temperature and the climate outside stays warm, the longer these pollen plants that are, able to cause people their allergies and their typical things like that, the longer they're able to stick around and cause those problems. Which in turn could also be within the how does it affect people category, you see. So I mean, I haven't marked under how will it affect national economies, but I mean, that's just where I have it filed because it's kind of one of those where it can affect the economy as well as it can affect, um, you know, the actual health. It affects the economy in ways of, the pollen is kind of what pollinates all of our crops and makes things active and does the world a service. And if we're constantly doing that and we're constantly trying to activate things when they should be going in the dormant season of the world and everything is in a constant screwy flux, what is that going to do to your climate? It's going to unstabilize things and or destabilize. I'm not sure. Let's see what the correct terminology for that one is. um but yeah, the pollen season, it's a big kicker for a lot of people. um Question number 3: how will climate change affect global economies? Um, this one is a big deal for a lot of people because it's not just based on the homeland; it's based everywhere. Uh, it's got more to do with the trade, to do with um, labor supply and ability to work, agricultural yields, um, tons of different things because we trade with countries, for things they can produce better than we can. And if their yields are lower or higher or messed up in comparison to what they would be, or if the traveling season is messed up in comparison to its normal season, that messes up our trade. It messes up our labor and supply because then you have people that, are unable to work because it's too hot or unable to work because it's too cold, and it roughs up the entire system. So, while it's easy to sit and think about, yeah, climate change is it's a joke. um, it's much easier to think about once you narrow it down to these smaller little categories of, you know, what would happen if, the climate warmed up in this area for this amount of time instead of doing this, or had this much humidity instead of being dry like it typically is. And these small little changes, they change the world around and they make things um essentially screwed up. The flow goes wacky and then the chain goes down, 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 down. Um at any rate, this is my half take at a climate change and humans, their association in relation. Um, Everybody, let me know what you think, and I hope I did a good job. Thank you. Make sure to watch it.